We are live. We are live. We just need people. I wonder. Let me see. Oh, I almost could. We have people. We have 3 viewers so far. We'll just wait for a few more viewers. Welcome to Friday Facebook. Yes, it's going to be awesome today. I don't know what it's like where you're tuning in from, but it's been beautiful here in the city. Really, really nice. 16 degrees apparently. See if anybody's coming into us from our YouTube feed. That's kind of a new thing. We had a lovely lady from Australia the other day. So, yeah, perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. 2 viewers. Uh-oh, we're losing people. And we need some comments showing up. So, 3 viewers. Great. Well, it is Facebook Friday. We're soon going to have a new name for this. But I know we really appreciate everybody that tunes in to our Facebook, our YouTube stream. And we are working hard to bring you, I don't know, more comments, more meat, more good stuff, more jokes. So we have officially labeled today Bungle in the Jungle because we have a whole new line of fabric to show you. And we're going to start off with that, and then we have a few other things to catch up on. So we have a couple of things in the back. Chelsea's worked hard getting everything set up for us today. So we have this wonderful safari line. She wanted me to wear a pith helmet, but unfortunately I left it at home. So yeah, we're not doing the helmet thing. But this is a new line of fabric here. You can see the colors. You can see it's actually called, what is it called? Rainbows Midnight. That's this one. There it is. The whole line of fabric is called Waterhole. Hey Anne, hi, nice for you to join us today. We're just talking about our Waterhole line from Riley Blake. That's the cottons in behind here. And something that I think is kind of interesting about it, it's this guy. Almost a cheater quilt kind of print, printed in little squares and really, really cute. So you could almost do nothing to that but quilt it. Layer it up with your favorite backing and batting. It would make an adorable little nursery set out of this guy. That's kind of what it's aimed at. If you're not sure what to do with fabric lines that have so much going on, a couple of cute little pattern ideas here. Diamond Detour and this little one here, Marching Band. Both of those would look cute. And of course, good old Yellow Brick Road. Pull this guy out. I know, I always destroy the displays. Yellow Brick Road is a perfect, quick and easy quilt to make out of such a varied fabric line as this new Waterhole line. So what else is in there? Comes in obviously several colorways. If you want the darker one here, it's there. Something in the browns and the greens. But I like the cheetah print one. I just think that is so adorable, just the way it is. So that's a great thing to, oh my goodness, I'm falling off my chair. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, just finished teaching our embroidery class, so you'd think I'd be used to the chair by now. But the other thing I wanted to show you that's in behind here, kind of keeping with the theme, we've put out our jungle knits. So do you remember? Oh, Loanne's peeking at me. Hi, Loanne. Do you remember a week or so ago, we did a little spot on Facebook where I had a red t-shirt and I was showing you how to take a pattern, make a pattern from a shirt that you just love. So we did that. We did that live on Facebook. And I took my paper pattern home and I actually didn't have to do too much to it. I took my paper pattern, smoothed it out, took my t-shirt, laid it out flat, put my pattern on and confirmed. Yeah, that looks pretty good. The one main thing that's important to do if you're going to do processes like that is to make sure they're symmetrical. So I did that, especially for the back of the t-shirt, folded it in half. It wasn't quite the same. Did a little nipping and tucking here. I think ultimately taking off a 1/4 inch here, making sure the curves fit right. So what you see is what I made, one of two. This is the second version of the shirt that I made. Ta-da-ta-da! So I actually do follow through on some things from the pattern that I copied from the shirt that I really liked. So what did I learn? Because anytime we do something like this, we learn stuff. First one, I cut it out, being pretty confident that it's going to fit okay. And I stitched it together with a very long machine stitch. I know it's a knit. We don't always stitch with a knit. Cotton thread, long stitch, and then I could try it on to fit it. I discovered that the shoulders were a little bit too low. So then I could take the sleeves out of the shirt, trim a little bit off, and adjust the pattern to reflect that, so that when I made the second one, I knew it would fit even better. The only difference, hi Robin from Maryland, and Susan is joining us on our YouTube line, so that's amazing. The only other difference between the two shirts is the other one, the white one, I did the neckline the way I described to you. I cut a strip of fabric. No, I didn't use the 2/3 rule because I didn't want it too tight. And I stitched it on. This one, I wanted the neckline a little lower, so I cut a strip of knit, sewed it on, tucked it in, and top stitched it. You can see the edge. Super, super easy. Thanks, Loanne. I like my shirts too. They're nice and flexible. And I just wanted to prove to everybody that it's perfectly all right if you don't have a pattern, but you have a shirt that you just love and you want to copy it. It really, really does work. If you like this fabric, we still have some of it out there. You may not know that we actually do carry a really good selection of fashion knits. So we have our animal prints if you're feeling in a jungly mood. We have our black, and I have the other one in white. If you were in the store yesterday, I was wearing it yesterday. So these two prints, and we do have solid colors. We do have a wide variety. There's a floral print out there that I kind of have my eye on now that I have a pattern to work from. So it's a great thing to expand your wardrobe with something you know is going to fit you. When it comes to knits, that was one thing that I did mention to the young fellas in our receiving, because this knit and this knit and this knit are not always created equal. So I like a high cotton content in my knit. So we do have most of our knits 95 cotton, 5% spandex. There are a few that are a poly cotton blend. So I just reminded them that it's best not to put the price label over the fiber content, because as sewers, that's an important information for us. So come in and have a look at our cotton knit selection. It's a great thing to work with. It's very forgiving. And hey, we're into t-shirt season. So I don't know if I could break down and wear the jungle knits, but you never know. What else has been going on around here? Well, we have new fabric, and it's probably worth your while to keep an eye on this Facebook session every day, because what we're going to try to do when we get new fabric in is show it to you first. The first place that new fabric is going to go before it even hits the sales floor is back here behind us on Facebook. So you folks are the first ones, except for our staff, to see this Waterhole line of fabric. Isn't that amazing? So that means if you see something you really like, you've got a pretty good chance of getting it. It also gives our tech guys the opportunity to make sure that the new fabrics are put up on the website, available online, so they are ready for our online sales as well. So what's coming up here in the grand world of my sewing room? Aside from making t-shirts and going on safari, classes still continue, and we are gradually segueing into more in-person classes. So next week on Wednesday, I will be hosting the first class scenario for our long arms certification class. So if that's something you've been thinking of taking, there's still room in the group. It's going to give you a complete rundown of how you use a long arm machine, how you load a quilt, some ideas of what to quilt, some free motion ideas, how to use a pantograph. And it's a lot of fun. I like interacting with a group of people. I met some lovely people when I was teaching it one-on-one, but it's a little bit different dynamic in a group setting. So I'm kind of looking forward to that one. And once you have gone through that class, then you get to come into the store and hang out with me or possibly Doris on the weekends and actually quilt your own quilts. It's wonderful, I think, to learn a new skill like that. You don't have to use it all the time. Just because you know how to do something doesn't mean you have to do it with everything, but just gaining those skills. And I tell every class that I teach, even if you never come in to rent this machine, this class, the long arm certification class, will make you a better quilter. And it's just the tips and tricks that I've learned over the years in working on other people's quilts. So that's exciting. That's coming up. I'm not sure if we have anything else scheduled for next week. I think there is also a Brother Cottage Getaway next week to look forward to. So, and I'm so excited. We had another bright idea. This one I think is really going to evolve into something we can all get enthusiastic about. I know we've had some, sorry, I've been talking all afternoon. We have had some really, really great response to our viewers challenge that we started beginning of the year. So we're into May. If you're not familiar, if you don't know, our May viewers challenge is to use something with felt. To make anything you want to use felt on a pin cushion, on a bag, in a little animal. Just do something with felt. Take a photo, email it to us, or come into the store if you'd rather show us in person, and we can take the photos. We've had a really great response to our viewers challenge. So we're going to start something new. And we're calling it, we just had a meeting this morning, we're got to call something by a catchy name so that we can remember it. So we are going to call this Fan Mail Fridays. And we'll be launching in a couple of weeks, but right now you folks can help us. So the whole idea is we want you to give us your questions. You know what it's like when you're sitting at home and maybe you're sewing or your machine's making a sound and you're not too sure. You got this stabilizer and that stabilizer, and yeah. So if you have a question, a sewing, a fabric, a machine question, don't ask us why the sky is blue, because even if we could tell you, it's not our field of expertise. But you run into these questions at home all the time. Even the little simple questions. If it's a question for you, it's a question for someone else. So what we want you to do is to email us your questions, any and all of them. The same email we use for our viewers challenge, social@mysewingroom.ca. Pretty simple. So if you have that question at home, I know some of us, we sit down on the computer and we start looking things up, and you get a whole list of answers. And some of them say this, and some of them say that. Some of them say something else. And you go, I'm not so sure. So send your questions to a trusted source. Send it to a place you know. If we don't know the answers, we'll find them for you. And then every week on Fridays, on Fan Mail Fridays, we are going to answer your questions on our Facebook feed, on our YouTube feed. And we would love to be able to interact with you. This gives us some idea of some of the areas that you're struggling with. And so then we can tailor some of our classes, maybe tailor some of our instructional videos. Some of these questions just might lend themselves to a demo. Excuse me, how do I make a bias binding? We can do that for you. If it's a question you have, pretty sure it's a question somebody else has. And Susan has a question on our YouTube feed. She asks, if the felt thing is open to international? Susan, it is open to international. It is open to intergalactic, if that's where you are. If you can receive us on YouTube or Facebook and you want to participate in our viewers challenges, by all means, take a picture of your project, send it to social@mysewingroom.ca. We will just inundate poor Kaysen with emails. And then all of those projects, come the end of the month, beginning of the next month, we like to feature those in our newsletter. It's one of the great things that COVID has done for us, and that is getting us worked into this electronic ability to keep in touch with like-minded people. So that I am really excited, mostly because I think I'm going to be doing a lot of the Fridays with Fan Mail Fridays. A little tip, we also don't mind comments. If you would just want to send us a comment, that's okay. But we're here mostly to help answer some of those silly, niggling little questions. I had a question from a lady in a class one time. She goes, I'm not really sure what muslin is. Perfectly legitimate question. We think we know what muslin is, but boy, when you start looking it up, you discover that you didn't know everything there was to know about muslin. And I don't know, maybe some people aren't interested. I was really interested in the answer to that one. So lots of fun things coming up. I think it's going to be great because I know a lot of you are not close by. You can't come in with that project that's just not going together right. But you can send us an email, send us a video, and we'll be happy to walk you through the steps to get that completed. And yes, we would love to see your finished projects. Very, very definitely. So, Fan Mail Fridays, you've got 2 weeks from today to fire in as many questions as you want, and then we will start answering them. Depending on how many questions we get, we may streamline them. If we get like 16 questions about doing bindings, we're going to do a binding questions session. But if we get 2 about bindings, we'll still answer them. And we get 10 about sewing machines, we'll do a sewing machine session. If we get 1 question about something we'll still answer you, whether it's live on Facebook or send you off an email. Don't worry, we will answer your questions because you're special for us. You're part of our quilting, sewing community, and we want to keep the relationship going. So, isn't that exciting? I'm excited about it anyways. And we will keep reminding you on Facebook about it. So as you're working, as you're thinking, as you're chopping the carrots for supper and you go, you know, I really would like to know what kind of needle I should use for that fabric. Make a note next time you're at your computer, whip us off an email. It sounds like a fun night. I'm so looking forward to seeing some of your questions. You can send us jokes too. We'll pass those ones on to Sandy because she was in such a dither on Wednesday because she lost her sheet of jokes. We had to find her some new ones. But anyway, so it's a lovely Friday afternoon. And it's really nice. We have our regulars on our Facebook panel, but it's really nice to see people tuning in on YouTube. I'm glad we have both venues. And you do know that all of our sessions are recorded, especially the ones where we're doing a little demo or showing you something specific, because that information doesn't get old. It doesn't wear out. Susan says it's Saturday morning here. Are you Susan from down south there or halfway around the globe? Robin is tuning into us from Maryland as well. So this is lovely. This is lovely. Maryland must be beautiful this time of year. I bet you all of the trees are in bloom. Had the opportunity too many years ago to mention to actually visit Maryland. Just past cherry blossom time, but it was still really, really pretty. So that's what I have for you today. Nothing really spectacular. Give the t-shirts a try. Be happy to give you any advice if you need some. You can give me a phone call or an email. Ask a question. Or drop into the store. Come and check out our knits. There's kind of rumors floating in the wind that we are going to be getting in. Now, with today's supply issues, I couldn't begin to say when, but we have ordered a lot more what we call fashion fabrics, clothing fabrics. So that'll be kind of exciting. It's an area I've done a fair bit in the good old days, and it might be fun to get back into it. So that's something to look forward to. Come in and check out our new Waterhole line, especially if you've got little ones in the family. Don't forget, our classes are up and running. You can always check our newsletter, class calendar, see what's coming up. And just so that our local folks know what's going on, Susan is joining us from Tasmania, Australia. Such a gorgeous part of the world, I tell you. And I tell you, if you want to see beautiful quilting, check out some of the Australian sites. Oh my goodness, you guys are amazing down there. Robin's from Maryland. She says it's very pretty right now, but rainy. Send us your rain, Robin. It's really dry out here. We're starting to worry about the farmers. So yeah, it seems to be that year. Lots of rain in the east and not quite enough in the west. So maybe it'll even out eventually. Until next time, everybody have a great weekend. Gardening season is upon us, and have a great Mother's Day. Mother's Day is coming up this weekend. If you are a mother, have a happy Mother's Day. If you have a mother, wish her a happy Mother's Day. I was going to say if you don't have either of those, but that's not a category. So take care, everybody. I'm glad you could join us, and I look forward to seeing your questions. So have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now. the buttons changed, so I hope because usually it was end YouTube and end something. I hit end live video, so.
The mouse.
Oh, can I hit this
Yeah,
one?
hit that one.
Yeah.
And then this one's still live.
This one's still live, so where's...
So, may I have the mouse on it? I can drive it.
Because it was usually on the stream.
Yeah, it usually
You know,
does.
end.